200 million years ago, Earth belonged to the dinosaurs. Massive predators shook the ancient forests, and creatures larger than buildings ruled the land. Humanity wasn't even a distant spark in the evolutionary timeline. But while the dinosaurs fought their loud, chaotic war for terrestrial dominance, a silent nightmare was already waiting in the shadows of the riverbanks. Motionless. Patient. Watching from the murky depths. In pop culture, crocodiles are often called the descendants of dinosaurs. But the reality is far more compelling. Crocodiles did not evolve from dinosaurs. They were their neighbors. They shared the exact same world, breathed the same air, and together, they witnessed three of the planet's greatest mass extinctions. Around 245 million years ago, a supreme dynasty of reptiles ruled the Earth. The Archosaurs. Evolution split this mighty bloodline into two rival factions. One branch, the Avemetatarsalia, became the dinosaurs, and eventually, modern birds. The other branch, the Crocodilians, became the crocodilians. They were evolutionary rivals from day one. And while the dinosaurs disappeared into ash, fossils, and history, the crocodiles remained. Almost unchanged. This is not just a story of basic survival. It is the story of nature's ultimate triumph of minimalist engineering. To truly understand the crocodile, we have to travel back to that ancient Triassic world, where these two rival dynasties first began their separate paths. Imagine two rivers beginning from the exact same ancestral source. One moved toward the skies and the land, the other chose to stay with the water. The dinosaurs gambled on a high metabolism, becoming larger, faster, and increasingly specialized. Crocodilians chose a radically different strategy. Absolute energy conservation, infinite efficiency, and terrifying patience. But in that ancient world, crocodilian ancestors were not always hidden river predators. Some early species walked on long, agile legs, and others hunted strictly on dry land. Apex monsters like Postosuchus once ruled the terrestrial ecosystem, actively terrorizing the earliest dinosaurs themselves. However, after a devastating mass extinction event near the end of the Triassic period, the dinosaurs rose to absolute dominance on land. The crocodilians made a tactical retreat toward the water, a move that became one of the greatest survival decisions in evolutionary history. Dinosaurs evolved rapidly, hyper-adapting to a world that would eventually betray them. Crocodilians evolved carefully, perfecting a lifestyle designed to withstand anything. And when catastrophe finally arrived millions of years later, one branch vanished entirely. The other endured. Today, that ancient bloodline still holds its ground across the planet. True crocodiles live in Africa, Asia, Australia, and parts of the Americas. Alligators are found mostly in the southeastern United States and parts of China, while caimans inhabit Central and South America. At first glance, they look like close brothers, but their independent paths are separated by millions of years. True crocodiles usually have narrower V-shaped snouts and tolerate saltwater thanks to specialized salt glands on their tongues. Alligators feature broader U-shaped snouts and prefer freshwater environments like swamps and marshes. Caimans are generally smaller, darker, and more heavily armored. They are different species in different habitats, but all of them carry the exact same ancient blueprint that outlived the golden age of reptiles. A crocodile's body is not a product of random chance, it is a flawless fortress. Beneath those rugged scales lie osteoderms, bony, armor-like plates embedded directly into the skin. This forms a flexible, bulletproof shield carried across millennia. Each plate is laced with blood vessels, acting as a biological solar panel to absorb and regulate heat. Their coloration is a masterpiece of countershading camouflage. A dark, muddy back conceals them from birds above, while a pale belly mimics the sunlit surface to prey looking up from the depths. Even their skull is designed like a military perimeter. The nostrils, eyes, and ears are perfectly aligned on the very top of the head. A crocodile can weigh 2,000 pounds, yet leave only 2 inches of itself exposed to the world. Inside that ancient skull lies a sophisticated biological computer. Their eyes feature vertical slit pupils for lethal night vision and a transparent third eyelid, nature's own built-in swimming goggles. But the true crown jewel of crocodilian engineering is hidden inside the chest. Crocodiles possess the most complex, highly evolved heart of any vertebrate on Earth. It is a 4-chambered heart, like ours, but equipped with a unique bypass valve called the foramen of Panizza. This valve allows the crocodile to consciously redirect oxygen-starved blood away from its lungs and back into its body. The result? They can drop their heart rate to just 2 or 3 beats per minute, staying submerged for hours. It is a living, breathing Triassic submarine. A crocodile's greatest weapon is not its speed. It is a terrifying, hypnotic stillness. The crocodile doesn't hunt in the traditional sense. It simply waits for the world to come to it. Their jaws are peppered with thousands of microscopic black domes called integumentary sensory organs. These are more sensitive than the most advanced military seismographs. A crocodile can literally feel the structure of the river through its skin, detecting the faint hydrodynamic ripple of a fish, the distant footsteps of an animal on the bank, or even a single raindrop. When a target approaches, that total stillness transforms into pure suspense. The bite force of a large saltwater crocodile can reach nearly 4,000 pounds per square inch, the highest ever recorded in the modern animal kingdom. Their jaws snap shut with the force of a hydraulic press. Yet, this perfect weapon hides a paradoxical flaw. The muscles used to open a crocodile's jaws are surprisingly weak. A human can keep them clamped shut with nothing more than a few layers of heavy-duty tape. But once those jaws close, escape is a mathematical impossibility. Despite their reputation as cold-blooded killing machines, crocodilians are highly social, deeply cognitive creatures. They operate under a strict territorial hierarchy. And what humans often mistake for blind, chaotic rage, the deep hissing, the inflated bodies, the wide-open jaws, is actually a highly sophisticated language of reptilian diplomacy. Crocodiles rarely engage in fatal fights with one another. Wasting energy is against their evolutionary code. Instead, they use intimidation. They emit low-frequency infrasound that causes the water on their backs to literally dance and boil. It is a profound acoustic warning. I am the master of this river. Do not cross the line. In the wild, a fully grown crocodile has virtually no natural enemies. A rare clash with an aggressive hippo or an elephant at a watering hole might cause injury, but no animal actively hunts them. The only true predator of a massive crocodile is an even larger crocodile. Cannibalism is common, serving as nature's brutal population control. For over 200 million years, no predator, no ice age, and no climate shift managed to erase them from the face of the earth. Until the arrival of humans. The destruction of wetlands, industrial pollution of ancient waterways, and decades of relentless poaching for the luxury leather trade did what the asteroid couldn't. We pushed several species to the absolute brink of extinction. Yet, true to their bloodline, crocodiles are fighting back. They are adapting to urbanized rivers, finding new pockets of wilderness, and doing what they do best. Quietly surviving. The age of the dinosaurs faded into museum fossils. Human civilizations have built and collapsed empires in the blink of an evolutionary eye. And through it all, the crocodiles have remained on the riverbanks. They don't need to evolve faster. They don't need to become smarter. Nature perfected their design when the continents were still welded together as one. They have outlived asteroid impacts, continental rifts, global ice ages, and planetary extinction events. They have watched the dawn and dusk of a million species. And perhaps, 100 million years from now, when humanity is nothing more than a thin layer of compressed dust in Earth's geological record, a cold, calculating pair of eyes will once again break the surface of this very river. They know how to wait. They will outwait us. 2.